Hello, David aka Linesider again here. In today's video I'm going to share with you my very first steam train video that I took back in 2003, and I've also brought with me the same camera that I filmed that on with the intention of filming a few shots today alongside my modern day equivalent to show how technology has improved over the years. So come along if you like as I indulge in a bit of nostalgia and a trip down memory lane. So armed with my very first camcorder and tripod, I headed off to Oakworth on the Keighley Worth Valley Railway, where I filmed the Jinty 47279. And prior to this I'd taken stills photographs, mainly colour prints, but I'd always really wanted to do video, particularly to capture the sound and the movement of steam, so it was a logical step in that direction. So here it is, my very first camcorder, the Canon G30 and you can see where I've added a very rudimentary windshield to it many years ago. Very basic, although I will say it's amazing how much difference just a tiny bit of foam does make to the sound. I've not had this out to film with for about 20 years and I was delighted to check it over at home that it still works, and had to remind myself exactly how to connect it to the computer. The delights of connecting a Hi8 8mm camcorder, which is an analog format, to the computer to convert it to digital is a bit of a dark art, so connecting composite leads etc and working out exactly which capture software to use, and then dealing with things like tape misfeeds and drop frames when you're capturing it, all good fun. Reminded me that I really did have to want to do this back in the day. It's a far cry from today where everyone's got a video camera, 4K video camera in the pocket virtually, and everything's a lot easier. But I will say there is some merit in, I think, the world of closed systems and physical leads as opposed to the cloud-based systems we have now, where I think it's quite easy to lose things and forget where things are saved, etc. So you know, it wins on that score. So without further ado, here is that very first video I made. Brace yourselves, it is a 2003 video using technology designed in the 1980s, but I did use a tripod to my credit, so that's one thing in its favour, and I am presenting it here, warts and all, as it came out of the camera, so see what you think. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. What do I think of it all these years later? Well, it's very much of the home video standard, and dare I say, you've been framed type quality comes to mind. But as with any journey, the first step is often the most important, and that was my very first step into the world of video. So I still have warmth for that shot, bit of nostalgia, nice to see the Jinty as well, and that's where it all began. So I can only think fondly upon it really, and not too bad all things considered. I didn't have a fluid head tripod, I was just using a very basic tripod, and train comes into station, train stops, train sets off, captures that, tells that story I suppose. Now I'm going to actually film a modern day train, bit of modern traction using that very same camera, and I'm going to see how it holds up compared with my modern day equivalent. So I've come here to Brock, which is on the West Coast Main Line, a few miles north of Preston. And although I thought the sun would be on this side and it would be right for the light, if you look behind me, you can see how overexposed the sky is, and the sun is actually on the other side of the line. So terrible choice of location. I've obviously learnt nothing in the last 22 years. I think I'll take a shot looking the other way, possibly from the footbridge instead. So here we go, a momentous occasion as the G30 shoots again, going onto a tripod for the first time in about 20 years. So I've set up both cameras to essentially record the same shot. I'm not going to panel zoom with either. On the right we have my original Hi8 Canon camcorder, shooting in standard definition at an aspect ratio of 4:3, and on the left we have my modern day Sony equivalent, shooting in 4K at an aspect ratio of 16:9. So let's see what they get, let's compare the results. Well, there we have it, two contrasting shots from two different cameras. Which one was the better, do you think? I'm not so sure. Bit of a quandary. Was I right to invest in more modern technology as it became available, or should I have stuck with the original Hi8? Let me know what you think. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little jaunt down memory lane today as I look back on my very first video. It's been great fun actually to film with the old camera again. It's made me realise how limited the technology was. And how, if you didn't get really good light, it was a real battle to get anything worthwhile. But as I said earlier on, it was a starting point, and in so many ways that's the most important part of any journey you go on. If you have enjoyed the video, if you could please leave me a like and think about subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Until the next time, bye for now.